evening, June 12th. Actually, I don't think we need guideposts anymore. I mean, last Sunday we didn't really talk about what the guidepost was about, and we had a great discussion. I think probably better than if we'd sort of say, oh, this is what we're supposed to talk about. So I just want us to talk about whatever is on top of our mind when we get together on Sunday evenings, and I'm absolutely confident that that's going to result in a very robust exchange between us. But I do want to share with you an event that happened for me, is happening for me. I'm kind of still a bit in the middle of it, which is an example of the kind of self-reflection that I want us to all become able to do. And so just to model kind of doing my own work, I want to tell you about this thing that is happening to me, did happen, but is continuing to impact me. So the beginning of this week, Joan and I drove up to Chicago to see Alison Krauss and Robert Plant at the Pritzker Arena on the lakefront in Chicago. And we stayed in a kind of the basement of a house in a not excellent neighborhood, but it was close to the Green Line. And so we were able to catch the train in, and we had figured out, you know, we're going to be on the move here. What do we need to take? What can't we take? What are the rules about what you can bring into the event? And so we took the Green Line down late afternoon on Tuesday and got off downtown. And I had what is for me a backpack, day pack I've been carrying for like 20 years now. Joan had a big kind of purse, and we had extra clothing because it was going to get chilly that evening, and a couple of little water bottles and a couple of granola bars, and just the kind of stuff that you take with you when you go to an event like this. And we get off the train and we're heading over to the place, and there's this big long line that we're in, and this guy with a bullhorn comes over and says, "Hey everybody, there's 2 more lines down here. You don't have to wait there." So we hustle on up to this other line as we're getting to the head of the line, and there's this, you're going to have to kind of check yourself into the site. First of all, you have to go through the people who check your bags. And then you go through the people who, with their wands, make sure you're not carrying any weapons on you, they're concealed. And then you actually show them your ticket, which is, you know, the QR code on your phone. So we're waiting there, and as we get up to the head of the line, and the guy who was my bagger says, "You can't take that in." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You can't, your backpack's too big. It won't, that's not allowed. You're going to have to, you know, take it back to your car, or, but you can't take it in, or toss it in the trash here." And I was not willing to toss it into the trash, but the car is a long ways away. We got to, you know, that's taking the Green Line back home. And no, I'm not willing to do that either. So I ended up pulling all of the stuff out of the backpack and putting it into, either putting it on, it's clothing, or putting it into Joan's purse. And then I walk up about 25 yards to where there's a trash can right next to the fence. And I fold up the grass and the pack, and I toss it into the trash can there. And then we go through, and and now we're inside, and I walk back over to where the trash can is, and I reach in, and my pack's gone. And there was a guy standing there, and I said, "Did you see?" He said, "Yeah, there were some guys who were looking at that. I guess they decided they wanted it." This backpack, you know, I've been carrying this pack for 20 years. It's still in really good shape. I'm kind of attached to it because of the places it's been with me, and it's gone. Oh, crap. So I go back to where Joan's waiting, and we head in, and I'm kind of in a foul mood about this, but hey, you know, I can buy a new pack. You know, that's not that big a deal. We've got all our stuff otherwise. I don't think I left anything in there, you know. If I did, it was something I left in there a long time ago, so, because it's got these little pockets in there. But it's gone. So I'm sitting down, and we got really nice seats, and we're kind of getting acclimated and looking. It's a beautiful place. But there's something kind of going on with me. I'm kind of sort of buzzing, like, you know, we didn't eat any gummies or anything. It's not that. It's sort of like there's something irking me. And then the couple who have the seats right next to us, they come in and they sit down, and this guy's got a backpack about the same size as my pack, and he got in. you know, and it's like, you know, and I'm seeing other people carrying stuff way bigger than what I had. But it's gone, you know, just let it go. I'm not going to find that pack again. It's over with. Can't go back in time. And it just is very hard for me to let this go. So I'm just noticing, and I'm just sort of thinking about why is this so important to me? The pack is itself an important object. I care about it. But it's gone. I mean, you know, I should just be able to let this go, right? Keeps bothering me. So it bothers me kind of up until the, you know, the concert starts, and I'm noticing it a little bit, but, you know, we're okay. And, you know, and it's a great concert. We had a great evening. It was beautiful. It was a little chilly. It's great there by the lakefront, but otherwise, perfect night. We head back, get back on the green line, head back out to where we're staying, and it's late. We're going to bed. I'm laying there in bed, and I keep thinking about it. I can't go to sleep. So I'm like, okay, let's let it go. And I keep having these images come up. And one of them is I'm imagining a different conversation that I had with the guy who was the checker. The guy who said, you can't take that in. Probably in his mid-20s. And it was clear that he was like, hey, you know, I'm really sorry, but I can't let you in because that's against the rules. You know, he didn't, you know, he was trying to keep his job, just doing what he was supposed to do. And after I threw my pack away and went back up, and I was waiting in line then, and I noticed there was a sign right there, just right, here's what you can take in, here's what you can't take in. And that thing was not more than 26.5 inches long, right? It actually was, it did meet the requirements of what you could take in. So I'm thinking about, now I'm beginning to imagine, what if I press the issue? What if I, you know, and there's this part of me that just, like, I want to just chew this guy out, right? What is the deal here? And I could not let go of all of this anger. What am I so angry about? So at one level, yeah, it was the pack. And another level, it was that I let this, you know, 20-year-old kid basically bully me into throwing away something that was important to me when other people didn't, you know. So there's the injustice of it. Okay, there's that, right? But there was something more. And when I really got down to it, what I discovered was that I was really mad at me. I was mad at me because when I was confronted by this authority who was saying, no, you can't do what you thought you were going to do, and here are your options, here are what you're going to do about it, I was focused on, how can I get around this? How can I do what I'm told to do and still not do it, right? How can I thwart the system? In a way that didn't take into account the fact that there were a few hundred people who were watching me throw a perfectly good day pack into the trash, or could have been, right? And somebody saw it before I could get back to it. So I did not think this through. I had lots of other options I could have taken. But I kept going back to it. And what I finally got down to was that I was in a situation wherein I could have confronted unjust authority, this oppressive system, this system that was not law and order, wasn't even following its own rules. And I could have stood up to it. I could have made a big deal about it. And I had fantasies about that. And I didn't. I just said, okay, I'm just going to do what I'm told to do, or approximate it. And so what I really came to is, I'm mad at me. I'm mad at me for not being who it is that I know I have the capacity, or believe that I have the capacity to be. So I just want to bring it up kind of here within the orders of self, because this is part of what I've been working on recently, is that when conflicts arise for us, if they're an issue, particularly if it's anything that's of substance for me, it's something that is arising at multiple levels at the same time. So at one level here, it's a first order experience of my experience of this event and my experience of my relationship with this pack. And I'm in a position of, I'm taking care of this object, and I'm being subject to these third order expectations of me. The culture is telling me this is, in this case, the guy who was the checker, telling me this is the way it's going to be. So I'm figuring out who it is that I'm going to be. How am I going to show up here? And then I discovered that there were multiple options here that I really didn't take the time to be aware of. I was in too big a hurry. And so now the struggle for me is, how do I integrate this? How do I become integrated around all of the different things that were arising for me in this situation? So, so this becomes an example of kind of what I've been looking at recently in terms of how it is that really big conflicts arise at multiple levels all at the same time. And I still have it coming to mind for me. This is Thursday morning as I'm talking about this. This is something that happened Tuesday night. So I'll see you Sunday evening. And if this triggers something that we want to talk about, let's talk about it. If it doesn't, we'll talk about something. All right? See you Sunday.